Boom! We are off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy, the super chill and relatable Zach Elias. What's up, buddy?
Sunglasses emoji. I actually don't know what these are. This is like goggles. They're like Special K. But nevertheless, I'm not doing that. 3 glasses.
I don't know, man. I think you're more unpleasant and annoying if you ask me.
You're not allowed to have known that existed.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays, we do it live. Saturdays, we post it later. Got a whole gaggle of episodes. If this is your first time, this is your last time, go back, listen to some of the old episodes. Give us a good rating. Share the episode. And remember, if you ever see an auctioneer do one of those, give me five, tell them, hey, guy, slow down. Listen to Booze Your Daddy because we like when people love us, but we love when people hate us.
Or listen at 2.5 speed like he's already talking. Whatever. He can do it. Just listen to the damn thing. I don't care how fast he does it. No, Rosen Penis listens at 4-point speed. It's fine.
I got multiple texts this weekend, one in person, of somebody being like, hey, man, episode's not out. What's going on? I do believe both of those people listen to it at 2 times speed.
Fuck them. Who are they?
You know them all.
Oh, they suck. Those chooches.
Got
they have
a great
city in front of their name. Tool.
Got a great episode planned for tonight, but before we get into it, let's get back to our favorite game called Watch, Zach, Drink.
And for Cool Guy 48, why am I drinking?
Because the Ravens won, so I'm not drinking, and the Jets lost again.
So I have other funny shots, but for anybody in a 3-apartment vicinity of me or Alan can attest that before this episode, Daddy had a bit of a night. Had a night here. Well, situation going with the homework at home. So I need myself a little treat. So I have another Dr. McGillicuddy's apple pie because I just need something tasty. I just need something nice in my mouth after the string of profanities that came out of it beforehand.
I've seen managers
dial.
Zach, I've seen managers face-to-face with people, with the umpires, screaming less than what I heard going on behind the scenes.
I went full Sweet Lou Pinella on my poor daughter, who's really giving it right back to me. So here's the look up your address.
Oh, man. I thought that he may have been kicking dirt on Zoe. It was absolutely brutal at the Elias household tonight.
Had to turn the hat back around. So I drank.
And
you watched.
Keep drinking.
I got another one of these pumpkin sons of bitches because we're getting drunk tonight.
Do it.
8.6er. What do you got?
I got a 6.9er. I got this Beak and Skiff Apple Orchard's 1911 established double toil and trouble. It is candy corn hard seltzer, which was featured in the promo with my son, who I would never talk to the way you talk to your daughter.
Wait till he talks back.
Release the Kraken.
Wait till he starts talking back and starts giving you crap. And then you gotta get the whole thing sucks.
Oh, this is terrible.
This is bad too.
Episode.
It tastes like birthday cake. Whatever. I just had apple pie.
255. Calling this one
Whine time. I think you just saw me whine or listen to me whining in there.
Zach, what do you think we're going to be talking about tonight?
Whining?
What's something people? What happened 6 days ago that maybe flipped the world upside down for a little bit, or at least the East Coast?
The election?
What has been your experience on the Upper West Side adjacent since last Tuesday?
Well, honestly, it has been much more surreal than the first time. The first time when he beat Hillary, people were sobbing on the train. People were going crazy. People were like miserable. The day after was almost vanilla sky. It felt like nobody was out. Nobody was talking. The city was just sort of in a numb state. Now, I'll be honest. The market popping 2,000 points in a week took the sting out of a little bit, a lot. Like, takes a lot of the sting out. I don't want to make this about money. Made me feel a lot better about the whole thing.
I was watching during the week going, is the S&P going to hit 6,000 before the week's over? And I remember thinking to myself, that's a little hyperbolic. And then it did.
And then the little minimal or so amount of crypto that I have, also straight bananas. So, like, to the moon. Let's go. Helped a lot. Other than that,
Zach,
whatever. He's going to do his thing. It's going to be 4 years. nothing ever changes. Really, it could be a tomato can in office. Who cares? It could be Zelda in office. Yeah, there's some policies that affect the rest of the world, long-term stuff. In the immediacy, nothing changes. For us, I'm a coal miner in Appalachia or on the Mexican border, yeah, it's probably going to change. If I'm selling chicle chocolate with a prop baby on the subway, it's probably going to change. But for us, it doesn't change.
The song remains
For better
the same.
or worse, I don't know. Right.
You brought up crypto. I woke up with a text from my mother today of a screenshot of her account where she bought Dogecoin forever ago and has just been adding to her position nonstop as it's been going down the toilet. To now, she was like, "See, what did I tell you?" I'm like,
Diamond hands.
It didn't matter. Everything's up. If you would have put the same money in the regular fund, you'd be doing just the same. But
Much better. But
and my conversation with her being like, "Okay, you've tripled your money. Maybe you should take some off the
please
table."
sell all of it today.
And she goes, "Why? I hear it's going even higher." I'm like, "Oh my god, you can lead
Where'd
a
you
horse."
hear that from? The other guy in the room?
So, well, the reason that I went with the title Whine Time is not only were a lot of people whining the past week, where I've had to talk half of my patients off the ledge. The other one, I have to talk from jumping off the ledge just in celebration. What's his face style? One Direction's going to fall backwards. But I walked in, I had 2 patients in tears on Wednesday where I had to say, look, the fact that we've done this already makes me think it's not going to be that bad. Like, we've already done
The fact
this.
that they're your patients, they're not going to see another president, so what's the difference? They're not making it 4 years. You'll probably kill them before then.
I'm going to have to look that up. I think we might be at the 1-year killing, right?
Maybe. But how many presidents do your average patients have left?
If they get 2 terms, maybe 2 on.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing that I didn't even look into the actual headline. Did you see that Kamala made the front page of the Post where she was sitting playing with her nieces?
Yeah.
And they zoomed in on a glass of wine. I didn't even need to read it. Good for her.
Well, I mean, apparently when Hillary lost, she trashed the backstage like it was a Who concert. So, like, apparently she went absolutely Charlie Sheen on that hotel room. So cool. You want to play, Candyland with your kid and have a bottle of Chardonnay? Enjoy. Because if I lost to him, I would be annihilated. I would go out there like Chris Farley and Black Sheep.
I agree. I probably can't say this. It is a little bit of a hip anonymous. I have a patient that
Ron Katz, I'm still here. Where did you go? I was expecting you to be here.
One of my patients does a lot of work in the arts related to heavy metal performance and whatnot. His living room is covered in all the electric guitars, all signed by anybody. He's met everybody. And the best part is, Zach, he has a lot of guitars that are in 6 pieces. Strings still attached, where he just has them. It's so cool. Guy's a really good guy. It's really, really cool to see.
Did he ever get a beach from, like, that Connie lady in Little Rock, like, who was known for it?
Not asking. No way.
Can I ask?
You can. It's a patient of mine. So,
yeah.
Anyway,
I'm not a HIPAA. I'm just a guy who wants to know.
I cannot get over the aggression. Did you see that a study came out that they're saying since the pandemic, people's drinking is still up? You know, my thoughts on this is that people are just more okay.
We haven't quit.
Everybody's just more accepting of drinking these days. 10 years ago, if you would have said, oh, so I had a beer last night. Oh, did you have friends over? No, just sitting watching a baseball game. Oh, but like at a bar? No, I was at home on my couch. To be like, sir, you need to go to a meeting. You have a problem. Nowadays, bottoms up.
Oh, by the way, you just answered your question. You need to go to a meeting, you have a problem. You also could just go to a bar, and now the problem is solved because the venue is clearly the issue. Go to AA or like keep drinking, but just do it next to some other lonely son of a bitch. We did that on Sunday after Zoe's softball team won the championship, division champs. Throwing it out there. They had a
Maybe
party.
you should let her stay up late and celebrate Sunday instead of beating her in the other room.
Whatever, she's doing homework. So anyway, Jen and I went to a bar to watch the 1:00 games. Sat next to some poor schlub alone. We got to talking. I ended up talking to him more as much as Jenna. They also have kosher whiskey at this bar. I was going to buy him a shot, and all 3 of us, but then I sort of forgot and didn't want to deal. Kosher whiskey. How about that? Well, whatever. But yeah, just tell me the venue it's more important.
The other election thing that I wanted to bring up with you, remember that story about the lieutenant governor down in North Carolina who was signed up for Big Africa and he had a name like
Big Africa. Yeah, he was great. I think he's our fan who told me I'm chill and relatable.
didn't win in his election bid. Just to keep you updated on that.
He's got a strong career with Mia Khalifa coming up.
Oh, that's pretty
He'll be
funny.
in the Deshaun Watson video.
Last thing I want to bring up about anything related to this, Zach, I landed on a page the other day that makes knockoff sneakers, including the Trump sneakers. I think I can get a pair for $40.
No.
I'm buying those, right?
No.
Why?
Authentic or nothing.
You'll never know
a
the difference.
certificate of authenticity on those bad Larrys.
Wait, if you buy the shoes with the box, it's like double the price.
Hanukkah party gift.
Say I won't. What's your shoe
You
size?
have to know Lauren's shoe size.
What's your shoe size? I forgot.
Well, different between different brands, but for Trump shoes, I'm probably his stuff. Everything's a little bit. I'm probably a 14. The biggest feet, the biggest shoes, size 27, like Shaquille O'Neal, only bigger. Selling general car insurance.
I was so ramped up from that amazing review last week that I didn't get to tell you about any of the highlights from Halloween, and Julia gave me the business afterwards that I didn't bring it up. There were two things that happened during our Halloween. One is prop related, so I know you're going to love this.
Love props.
Stopped by a house right near one of my old patients, and I walked by and they said, "Hey, you guys doing Halloween?" We said, "We don't want any candy." She says, "Good, because we have books. We're giving away our grandkids' books."
That's
At which point I kind of just walked. I was like, "Oh, okay." We looked through them. We grabbed a couple.
I hope some were super valuable. Like a Cobb card.
Are you familiar with bestseller Good Night Moon?
Sure.
Perhaps you should meet the sequel, Good Night, New Jersey.
That's terrific.
They go all over. They go to the shore. They go to Atlantic City. They
go
go
to the good places.
They go to the Pine Barrens, which is famous from Sopranos. I saw.
They go to like Rahway and like horrible spots.
Greetings from Asbury Park, baby. We were born to run. Right?
I mean, come on now, man. Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff in here. It's actually been, and Milo likes it.
They mentioned Jimmy Hoffa. Is he frequented in?
There's no, but they do mention the shore. Hey, let's play Monopoly. It takes place in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Again, better than something else that we've read.
No, yeah, well, there's that. She's persona non grata, isn't she?
The other thing I want to talk about was we were walking around our neighborhood and we got no trick-or-treaters. Other than we found where the party was, there's a couple streets by our house where they shut it down. Everybody goes there. And not only are they giving candy to the kids, giving booze to the parents.
You know what I'm going to say? You found this by accident? Just wandering around?
I stopped at a patient's house and
I was going to say, this is all going on. And as I'm going to say, no invite? You guys are actively uninvited.
No. It's a whole big thing in our town. We just didn't know where that street was. We kind of walked.
The people that do know were invited.
Well, we know where we're going next year. There were people, what they do is they set up a table of candy, and then about 20 feet behind them, a table of booze. And they have friends over, and they just drink. Julia got an Aperol Spritz. I got a margarita. I had a shot of
Aperol Spritz is the most overrated drink ever. These idiots who think it's good, this newfangled. Come on, where were you then? It's terrible.
Horchata spiced rum shots this one house was giving out. I'm like, I could stay here all day. Just put a straw in it. Let me go to town.
Just a ton of this stuff, and let's dance. It's delicious. Anything Doc McGillicuddy related, you can't miss.
All right. Zach, I need to switch something on my thing real quick. But while I'm doing it.
On your thing, I've been doing that since I was 12.
Get quirky, be jerky.
Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce's mansions were burglarized within hours of each other. Sounds like a Ravens fan who's jealous and miserable. But he's just off. I can just rip. I'm just riffing. I'm just vamping. So, did you hear the one about Allen? Guy can't work his computer so well. Double-click his mouse, and he's back. Okay. So, the Kelce thing and Mahomes, hours apart, their mansions were burglarized. Don't they have security?
Fuck them.
Don't they? I mean, like, don't they have a guy at the desk, like a gate? And Edward Norton had that in the Italian Job. These two idiots don't? Ridiculous.
Okay.
Burglarizing someone's house.
I would egg your house in a heartbeat.
You can egg my house all you want. Just don't come in. Designer sews hundreds of tiny stuffed animals onto jeans, and now they're all the rage thanks to celebs. I told Zoe she's not getting them. Look at these fucking things. And you know how much those things cost? It would still very heavy to
$3.99.
$650.
Oh my god, I doubled my price. Do you ever do that where you think of a number, you're like, well, there's no way it's this much?
I don't know how to like tell you this other than just showing you the video. So I guess I'll send it to you. But like, you gotta be out of your mind to ride a motorcycle. It's a good video of a motorcycle. He hits the side back of a car, gets launched off, flipped onto the hood of another car. Now they're barreling down the highway. You've got to be. I know a bunch of people who have ride motorcycle stuff. I don't know a single one who hasn't gotten into some sort of an accident. You've got to be goddamn nuts.
Zach, I had one of my first patients when I moved to New York City. Guy comes in for an evaluation. He looks at me with his shoulder, right? It looks like this. He goes like this. He goes, I think I might have messed my shoulder up. And I said, oh, well, what's in your shirt there? He goes, nothing. That's my collarbone. Zach, you didn't look up once.
Oh God.
He goes, do you think I should go get an x-ray? I'm like, dude, you need your shoulder's broken. There's a bone popping out of your skin. But wait, before you move on, I think this is original, so I'll give her the credit. You know what Bubby Heitzy calls people on a motorcycle?
Go on.
Future organ donors.
Like it a lot. We've discussed Bonnie Blue on this show, right? She's the one who stripped all those guys, Australian porn star, I think.
The one who did 900 people?
I think so. There is some like thing about her life, how she had like a normal life and did it. She also held up the greatest sign of all time. The sign is really the only reason. Bonk me for free, let me film it. Bonk is my new favorite word for sex. I've heard boink earlier. Bonk me for free, let me film it. Where do you go from that? And for her to be serious. You look up to her and take her up at her offer and you get to bonk her? That's fantastic.
Oh my God.
Would you do it? Would you be able to perform?
I'm happily married. I never in a million years.
Yeah. When you were happily single, even really happy. Would you know bonk her for free knowing that like I might be watching?
No. Well, you maybe.
Gen Z's latest dating trend, freak matching. So like you're a freak, I'm a freak, let's freak out. So like you tell what now so it sounds like it should be phenomenally
I've heard this bit. You walked into a bar, a guy had a parrot, nobody could say they're freak.
Right. So that's the thing. But they're like, but this lets you say you're freak, but apparently also like, oh, my freak is the Ravens. My freak it's become like what you're obsessed with. Yeah, you in a Lamar jersey and they're in a Gerbeck. Let's go. Right.
You don't have a Gerbeck?
I know you have a Gerbeck. But yeah, so how do you a checklist of all the different freaks that you just push, or you put your own thing in and it populates? I want to know more, but like again, happily married, and I've been told I don't have enough kink. But yeah, freak matching. That's insane. If you match your freaky ass thing with someone else, it's just on. Yeah, too many fish in the sea picked it up. But this became like a thing that it was independent one.
Do you think we would match?
Our freaks?
Yeah, you and I.
Our mensies?
Yeah.
I don't know. What gets me there is real dark. Real weird stuff.
Yelling at 10-year-olds?
No, that was not good. Grilled guinea pigs are this NYC's restaurant's shocking specialty, and the head is the best part.
You're dangerous.
Fucking eat a guinea pig? What are we doing?
No, that's a thing in Spanish culture. That is
it's also a thing in Queens, New York.
No. This is the thing that we have one of the nicer restaurants in downtown Baltimore that my parents went to. I didn't think it was anything special, but roast suckling pig, like that's a dish.
A baby pig. This is a guinea pig. This is a fucking thing you get in the pet shop.
What's the difference?
Guinea pigs don't become like real pigs. Guinea pigs stay like a hamster.
And what's a roast suckling pig grows up to be Bubba? Like, what is it?
I guess, yeah.
I don't think it's that weird.
Bubba.
I had a friend growing up who had a pet pig.
And I'm supposed to meet you there? How the hell do I know what your friend's pet pig's name was?
He was a nice kid. Chill kid.
If I can't get there with you, our fan Fruit Cup 68, he sure can't.
I love that you have a different name every time.
He's good.
And number.
Yeah.
By the way, you just got dangerously close to 2 submarines at once.
We'll get to that. I hope this is one of them. Animal House Tim Matheson slept with 3 women in one day, including Kirstie Alley, raunchy memoir reveals. What? So, like, two regular broads and Kirstie Alley in one day.
I hate repeating the internet, but I got stuck on a reel one time, and they were talking about one of the best stories nobody knows. Apparently, Kirstie Alley lost both of her parents in a car accident. a Halloween party where I think the dad was dressed as a KKK member and the mom was dressed as blackface, and they died in a car accident in those Halloween. It was something real bad. I saw this the other day. I mean, you're laughing hysterically because it's great.
That's
You're like, that's
awful.
terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Melania Trump declines to meet with Joe Biden at White House, citing a Mar-a-Lago raid. Why do the first ladies meet? What do they talk about?
Isn't Joe Biden a second lady of his?
What?
Nothing.
Oh, God. But why would they even meet? I would decline that meeting, too. Why would I want to get on a plane, go through all the plane rigmarole that this program has detailed about me, risk anything, risk losing bags, risk whatever? I hate flying.
That's your problem?
I'm going to fly to Washington just to meet with her? A text message. Send me a thorough email, and maybe I'll get back to it. Just send me.
My issue is
where you keep.
You're about to take her bed, and she just took yours. And I know it's not exactly the same one, but look, somebody lived in your apartment before you. Somebody's lived in my house before me.
You think presidents change the mattress?
No way. Absolutely not.
Such a pain in the ass. So
no way.
Biden is sleeping on some bed that Trump's had like a 9-way in?
Clinton going backwards.
Oh, Kennedy?
Well,
Clinton, you got to burn the sheets. You got to just burn that thing.
Do they stay in the same room? Because don't they take different rooms?
I don't know how it works.
I don't know how it works, but I do think there's something weird. Like, I remember growing up, we met the people that were in our house before we lived there. It always felt like meeting your girlfriend's ex-boyfriend. It bothers me.
Tough to meet the people that live here. Yeah. One didn't make it, and one's on her way to Israel, which is pretty much the same thing. Like, oh yeah, your dog is at a farm upstate. Yeah, Bobby got shipped off to Haifa. Haifa in the sky. Martha Stewart pushes Drew Barrymore away during touchy interview. You're the wrong gender. So Drew Barrymore is apparently like super handsy. Come at me. Let's go.
No.
You wouldn't let her get all hands across America?
I would let her try my Maryland crabs, but I don't think so, dude. Not for me.
Really? Even through the story?
Oh, this story is...
You bonked the ET girl?
I'm not.
I mean, yeah, exactly. And Martha Stewart, 83. Who, by the way, smoke show for 83.
83. She's not ugly.
I probably would. There's a real bonk story.
I just know with Drew Barrymore, the whole mouth thing, like it really kind of bothers me, and I don't know if I could sit through 5 minutes of her.
You'd shove her away because Martha Stewart gave her a full shove. Gave her the business.
I don't think it needed to be as harsh as Martha was, but I saw the clip and it was like a caress, and it was an up down.
Up down.
Dude, I like
left, right, BA start.
It was too much. It was a rub.
Okay.
No.
I'm amazed you didn't call this an episode, knowing full well I would speak about it. Wicked Dolls. I mean, it's the story of the week.
It is the story of the week. It's just been covered so much. And like, what do you want to add to it? Well, add to it. Go ahead.
Mattel apologizes for mistakenly linking adult porn site on the packaging. It was telling little kids to go to wicked.com. Now, I've never heard of their, oeuvre, their site, their videos, their production company, any of the stuff that Wicked does.
I think I know Wicked.
Never heard of it.
My
issue back there.
My issue
Camel Cash.
Not that they linked it to wicked.com, which is a porn site. The bigger problem is that...
Good for wicked.com for getting that site name. Outstanding.
Why are they putting anything that's not Wicked the movie? It should have been triple checked to make sure kids go to the right site.
Here's another thing. If you ever bought a doll and then gone to a website, no, you go to a doll, you rip it open, and you play with the doll. The only people that are actually going to this website are Mr. Smithers with Malibu Stacy, the collectors of this shit. Some 6-year-old's not going on the website. It's okay.
I don't care about the fact that it was a naughty website. I think it's really weird that if it would have been Wicked the bicycle, the fact that they just put a website on a box and it's not
Spaceballs the flamethrower? What do you want?
Exactly.
And then the story of the week for me. It's got to be on your site. You got this?
I don't know. It's the best thing I heard.
North Korean soldiers hooked on porn after getting internet access for the first time while helping Russia fight Ukraine. Hooked on porn. These guys can't get enough. They're watching it on their phones. They're everywhere.
Didn't we talk about this? Or maybe
no.
I was like, oh, that's crazy.
Hooked on porn. They got to leave the country finally, and that's what they chose to do with their, downtime. I mean, I get it. If
them were smart, they would have downloaded VPNs the second they left the country.
They're not allowed to do any of this. He knows his stuff.
I don't think so. You get a VPN, you can do anything you want, man.
Well, maybe they all came back with VPNs. We know where people playing Super Bowl at whose house this year.
Mm.
Want to watch Super Bowl? No, let's go to Wicked.com. Let's get that
Zach,
going on.
What you watching?
What are we watching? Mainly Yellowstone. We are caught up. I don't think we started anything anew. We finished really everything else that needed to be finished. And now we are, I guess, going to have to start Industry or whatnot. Because I don't know what else is on. We have 2 more seasons of that thing to do. Sort of forgot that I was watching it. I'm also tepidly watching Impractical Jokers because someone I know was on one of the episodes, but that's besides the point.
Which season should I check out?
You should not. But for anyone who doesn't know, my mom was on one of the episodes. You could find it on your own. It was spectacular. Spectacular stuff.
You know what the best part was? I sat down to watch that episode, and I'm like, all right, I've never seen an episode of this. Let's just it's in the first 3 minutes. I'm like, and we're done.
And it gave a rallying cry. It gave a quote. It was perfect.
I thought the bit
other than that, what?
I thought the bit was pretty good about trying to get people to give more money in a tip.
There's more to the bit. Apparently, the service was slow. It took forever. Like they really didn't earn their tip. There was more banter than that they showed.
Here's my problem with Impractical Jokers. Is it not just candid camera?
It is, but it's like with
help?
jokes.
With help?
With help, yeah. Apparently, my mom has a friend who like usually works there, and they whatever it was, she goes, "Oh, where's the normal person?" I don't think my mom knows her name, and they must have told her in the ear. And he goes, "Oh yeah, Stephanie's dead." Like there's some other funny stuff that happened that didn't make the cut. Like my mom didn't even flinch.
Interesting.
Apparently, my mom yelled at the other people who gave the money. Like,
see, I guess it bothered me that the guy was being fed lines by 2 other comedians. It's a lot easier when you're having somebody kind of tell you and you can improvise.
Mm-hmm.
My Whatcha Watchin', Julia was away. I just crushed the first half of Industry season 3. To anybody who watches a show or doesn't watch a show, and I would even tell you right now, Zach, turn on episode 1 of season 3 and watch the first 3 minutes for the most shocking thing I've ever seen on television.
Well, I've got to get to episode 2. I'm not doing that. I'm going to watch the whole second season, and then I will get to you.
When you get to episode 1, season 3, it's literally the most shocking thing I think I've ever seen on TV.
Really?
I'll leave that there. Yellowstone, I watched the first episode today. I don't want to talk about it, but so far, the episode's a little whiny. The season's not doing it for me, dog. Although Kristen Bell may be dropped to a Silver Slugger instead of a Gold Glover, in my opinion, because Jamie, what's-his-face's girlfriend, the brunette in that show. Woof.
With the mole?
Yeah.
Really? Really?
Dark hair, dark guy.
No Santa's gotta go but she'll do.
Reindeer.
What? God.
I told you that story, right? At the mall last year?
Yes.
Zach, got a hip anonymous. I thought you were going to sync this. I'm working with this really, really nice guy. He's a little younger than my dad, and he's got a son around our age. And this guy is Italian, but he married a Jewish woman. Really good bullshitter. Love having him as a patient. Out of nowhere,
he's like the opposite, the inverse of Rita Ricciano.
Yes.
Gotcha.
He's telling me about, because he knows I like drinking beer, and he goes, you know what we had growing up? It was always hard when we go to our uncle's house, and all the Italians, they brew their own stuff. Guinea red, we called it. Immediately, I'm like, hold on. Can you say that? He goes, it was called Guinea red. He goes, meanwhile, you took a sip. You tried not to vomit all over them. He goes, but then what my father did was he would take that Guinea red and he would pour it into cream soda. We called it a galajut.
What? A galajut?
So now I'm Googling it, and of course, I can't find galajut. I found a couple derivations of cola and wine, and it sounds like his family just took a real word and completely twisted it,
and made up a drink. It's a flaming mo.
Our family, I don't know what's real Yiddish and what's not. My mom, my bubby have made up so much Yiddish over the years that I'm not sure what's real and what's not. But this guy tells me this thing, and he calls it this thing. And the best part is, he goes, yeah, it got real weird because, we'd have some people come to family functions, and they would bring a $70 bottle of wine. And my dad would crack it open, pour half a glass, and grab the cream soda. We're like, Dad, no, don't do it. Don't do it. He goes, hey, I'm making a galajut over here.
Yeah, I've been to places where I don't know, Albania, Yugoslavian. They did like red wine and Diet Coke, which is just an abomination. But
if you pick up that bottle and cap and drop it one more time,
I dropped it twice.
Same cap.
So we got to open a bar, but galajut on the menu.
I did look it up, and it was like
How do you
Kamala.
spell it?
He couldn't spell it, and when I had to look it up, there was a K and I think a silent Z in there. I mean, it got really rough.
College, like a Kanish? What the? I think you're spelling it wrong.
Pishadoo of the week. I got 9 candidates, so this should be a pretty easy week. You know, my number ones, I like to start strong. I'm just afraid this is going to win. I read a story online that Germany is having a problem with raccoons, and there's a German butcher that went out of their way where they started taking these raccoons, chopping them up, cooking them, and selling, and I quote, raccoon balls. Little balls of raccoon meat.
No,
That can't be. You can't eat bear meat no matter how you cook it. Like, there's just some meat you can't. Bear meat, it has parasites in it. Even if you cook the right part
all
of
it?
Yeah, you can't.
Every bear has parasites.
Whatever it is, as humans, even if you cook it before it's gone bad, you're gonna die. Yes.
I will eat a bear and I die?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
What?
Nah.
We just take bites of bear like a little bet, like then you Rochambeau. It's like iocane.
It takes a while. I think it's like a month before you're in the hospital with severe intestinal, and they burrow into your stomach lining. It's not great. Yeah.
I didn't know. So why didn't like the Revenant eat a bear?
The Reverend?
The
Jesse
Revenant?
Jackson? Oh.
Maybe him too. I don't know who's eating bear.
All right, raccoon balls did nothing for you.
It was pretty nasty, so keep going. It might come back.
Shout out to one of my good friends who posted something on Sunday. Out of nowhere, she posted a picture of breakfast in bed and says, I just found a Mother's Day coupon for breakfast in bed from years ago. And the daughter was livid. She had to make her this. So word to the wise, if you ever do one of these presents, make sure
expiration date
on these coupons.
No, I like it. I like that she cashed it in and the daughter had to do it.
On a random site. It was the day before her anniversary.
I like it.
She cashed it in and the daughter's like, are you serious? She goes, you gave it to me. She lost it and then found it and got it right back.
I like it. I mean, I don't like anything breakfast in bed because breakfast doesn't belong, or no food belongs in the bedroom, because crumbs, and then you roll over onto one of you. Feel the slightest. I'm the princess and the pea. I truly am. I feel the tiniest little unsuffer. If I have sand in the bed at the beach, I can't. I have to change the sheets.
I have a story about that for next week. Watching Yellowstone, I have to watch the commercials because we don't pay for Paramount, so I get to watch some of these episodes. Whatever.
I think it's my dentist's Paramount.
I think I'm watching also your dentist Paramount.
Are you really?
It's on.
Fuck off.
So anyway, I watched a commercial and halfway through, and I actually screamed out loud. I was so mad. They're now making a 6,666 the ranch seasoning for steaks and all this other stuff. Who in their right mind is dumb enough to order? Now, granted, I did go online and look it up. It's like $6 for a little seasoning so it's not that expensive.
Well, who's dumb enough to order it? Probably both of us.
I'm not getting it. I don't care that much about that ranch. If it was Yellowstone Ranch, maybe I would have. Inspired by the show. It's some seasoning for your meats.
Season my meats. If it was Camden Yards Orioles flavoring, you'd buy 10 cases of it.
I'd invest in the company.
Yeah. I think better than your birds.
I've been spending more time on the talk just to get some different views and stuff. It's completely changed, I've told you. But I was up this morning with my son around 4, maybe it was 4:30 at this point, and I'm just doing nothing. I saw doing a live video, it was a dad from India who was just staring at the screen like this. Then there's one boy sitting there, and he's flipping a bottle and just counting 75, 76, 7. And every time it's landing, he's kind of catching it. And I wouldn't give them the credit of actually watching this video as much as, am I supposed to be impressed by the flip, the counting, or is this guy just whoring the sun out on TikTok to try to make money?
Yes to all questions.
Who watches this crap? You. No, I didn't. I didn't go into the live video. I just saw it and I was like, what? I think I got through 3 of them and just like, I don't care.
You do care. That's what we're talking about on this program.
They get nothing out of that.
He might have more than 53 viewers. Definition of insanity.
We're up to 60.
Ooh, yeah, I like that. Yeah, so the hate is good.
You know what you know how it's like a real George Costanza? You think of the perfect comeback weeks later. You know what I really should have said? Like, asshole, we put this podcast out on other platforms and audio source as well. Like 53 subscribers on YouTube, that's nothing.
Call him.
Yeah, I'm not going back in because it's been in my head and I don't want him to know he's living in rent free. So not happening.
He's listening, so he knows.
Did you watch any of the Sunday London game or no? You had football, right? Or something you were doing?
Football? I should have been so lucky. No, we had Little League 10U softball. division champs. It was so goddamn cold. Watching them do this thing by a river.
I was fiending for coffee and starving for a bagel, and I was like, I'm not going out. I'm not going out in this. It's just too cold. It's not happening.
Yeah, I was standing out there. My face looked like Tom Coughlin. It was all purple.
They did something there where everybody held up a colored sign, and it made a NFL look. People had different colored papers, and they were NFL, and then had the American flag and had the German flag. Are they paying me something to do this? Because I think I might buy a group of 10 seats and just grab my sign and just go, fuck you. You don't get one of the stars. Not happening.
That's pretty good.
I don't know. It bothered me. Like, why did everybody in the stadium want? If you went to a stadium, they said you have to hold this up when we say you're going to be a part of something. I'd be like, no,
I don't care. I hold up what I say, and when they all go down, then I hold mine up.
That's how I felt about this. You're not paying me to do this. Like, fuck them.
I do know the guy who did the Harvard Yale trick of "We suck." He's married to Jenna's friend Claudine with the voice.
How does she sound? I forget.
Hot.
Let's get to some good ones. I would put this as a medalist, but I know how you feel about UFC, but this weekend, Madison Square Garden, UFC 309, you have the GOAT, John Jones, defending his heavyweight belt. Cool. Some guy in NBA last week, I think his name is, I've looked it up, James Johnson, who's a relatively tall guy, came out and said, I could beat John Jones in MMA.
Okay.
Do you know that guy doesn't know a guy who owes a guy who blew a guy anything that could be John Jones in anything?
So fight.
This is one of those situations that ESPN actually posted. Could you survive 25 minutes in a ring with John Jones for $25 million? And I don't like writing and responding to those things because it's all just one big data mining. And like, am I allowed to bite? Because the answer is no.
No, 5 minutes?
25 minutes for $25 million in a
no.
You have to survive.
You can't die? Like, is he allowed to kill you? Or
you can tap out. Like,
but then you don't get it. But if you don't tap out, will he kill you? Or he'll just say, like, I'm not going to hit you anymore. Like, let's just play chess.
Well, the referee, once you're out, they do one of those, like, they lift your arm up, and then if you're out, it's over. You don't die.
But, like, so I can just lay there for the remaining 24 minutes,
but the
alive but hurting.
They would stop it once you're not intelligently defending yourself. Now I'm just going. See, I didn't want to do this. Forget it.
No, we did it. So
some idiots thinks they could beat up John Jones, which is just dumb. Because
no one can. No one can beat up any of these guys.
Nobody knows the guy who. It's ridiculous. All right, good stuff. Now, Zion Williamson giving some post-game whatever, and I don't even think I can do it justice. He went to use the word lackadaisical, and there was a J, maybe a Z when he said it. It was like lackadaisical. And
I went to Duke.
I'm going to send you the clip afterward. You're like, what was he? Was he trying to say lackadaisical? Because it was not even close.
Duke
1 year. There you go.
Still.
Can number 8. Did you see that Michael Strahan is getting a lot of grief for the way he stood during the national anthem?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Stand during the anthem.
He stood. He had both hands crossed over his kind of pelvis area. I thought it was respectful. People need to chill out.
It's fine. Stand during the anthem.
I don't need a hand here. I don't need a hand here. As long as you're not dilly-dallying yourself, it really was fine.
Dilly-dallying. Yeah, I think it was fine. Just stand.
As the bald eagle would say, playing pocket pool.
God.
But more?
Not that we not necessarily need to do the anthem. I don't think before sporting events and concerts. I think it's really not necessary or antiquated. We do it. Just stand. You know what?
He was standing, dude.
I know. I'm just saying in general. That's enough. You don't have to do anything more. You don't have to do anything less. But like, don't give people crap for how they stand. I don't like the knee. I don't want you to sit. You stand. You made the effort.
Okay.
You met them halfway.
And he was. But the best story of the week, which I think is by far the biggest dick move, I had to look into the story to find out exactly why this guy did this. Go Dogs took a bad loss this weekend to Ole Miss. After the game, one of the guys who doesn't get a lot of playing time on Georgia was on the field jumping up and down, celebrating with one of the Ole Miss guys, players, fans, whoever it was. He didn't come from there. I'm not even sure if he knows the guy. That's an immediate cut, right? Like, it's like gots to go.
That's really bad. And the crazy thing is, he's got to, like, in theory, matriculate there. So he has to now see 50,000 other crazy people who hate him. That's awful. He didn't work it through. He didn't kill this guy.
It's so bad. If you go back into the locker room and be like, I would.
Forget the locker room. How about, like, Shakespeare on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Whatever bullshit class you have to sort of go to are going to hate you. Maniac alumni are going to hate you. Half Cambodians are going to hate you. Like, these things.
A quarter Cambodian hates him.
Herschel Walker gonna hate you. He's what?
Yeah.
He's a quarter only?
A quarter Asian is going to hate him.
Not quite as bad.
Half Jewish, quarter Asian.
He's half Jewish?
My son is.
Well, your son. Forget him. I might go dogs. Who's pretty ripped, by the way.
Shredded. Engaged. Mazel mazel.
What's the guy's name?
Nick.
No, the other guy. You missed it.
German butcher making raccoon balls, Mother's Day coupons that don't expire. 666.
Why is he? Stop. Why is he making raccoon balls just to get rid of
a raccoon problem?
But why is he making the balls?
He's selling them in ball form as far as cooked meat.
This is gonna win. Go on. Yeah.
I know it came out strong too. TikTok Indians that are doing bottle counting. The London game, you have to hold a color card up. No, I'm not doing it. Some guy in the NBA thinks he could beat up John Jones. Lackadaisical, said by Zion Williamson, Duke educated. Strahan stands during the anthem, and a Georgia player in uniform, who I believe transferred in, on the field, jumping up and down, celebrating with the other team. Who's the Pishadoo?
I have to see the Georgia thing to see how bad it really is, but it's the German balls guy.
Damn it. You know the one is supposed to be a throwaway.
I know. 2 weeks in a row, I think it's one.
It is. Do you know how I structure these? Maybe I'll just... It's like when you're doing a comedy set, I need the first joke to be good so I can go into my material and then close with my strong stuff. But you keep on loving the first joke.
The first one's great.
Boozer Daddy the podcast. Thanks for listening to tonight's episode. We had fun. We're going to keep doing this. Zach, you didn't sink my submarine for my sign off. And for doing so, I want you to treat yourself to a round of sausage.
A round of sausage?
You did see the Wheel of Fortune clip?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. What
that was good.
It's not even a saying. It's clearly a round of applause.
It's not a saying. I just forgot what it was. Yeah, a buddy of mine who watches Wheel religiously. Also wears shorts year round. What's the difference?
My question is, sweet or spicy?
Spicy.
I'll take a mix. We out.
I'm alone.